Okay, this is a brief tutorial of a ACL permissions setup, and my goal here is to allow Nick in our knock to go into this project here and just run the projects. I've got several projects here, but I just want to give him access to this and just to be able to run it, not to be able to add or edit or delete anything. So if I want to look at the before and after, if I go over here to Nick. I'm logged in as Nick here. You can see by just clicking on the person icon in the upper right corner, and it says you have no access to projects. I'm going to refresh this when I'm all done and be able to run the jobs. So first thing we do is we go and create a system ACL. This gives them that base level of access, and it's under the gear menu and access control. So I've already got one built-in ACL policy here for admins and so on, but I don't have any for groups like the knock. So let me create an ACL policy. Okay, and then give it a name. I'm just going to call it knock. And now it's located on the storage system in a cluster. It's important to have it on the shared storage. And then I'm going to click new rule here because there's no rules down here. And I'm just going to call this rule 1, or I'll just call it project. And I'm going to give system access to a group called knock. And I'm going to select the resource is project. And the name of that project is Mike-project-1. If you want to, you can do a regex match by choosing this, but I know this is a specific name, so I'm going to go with that. If you have like multiple projects and they all begin or have some sort of string in them, that'd be another good reason to use matches there. And now we're going to give this person or this group read access. So there's several different types of actions you can do here, and you see stars at the bottom. We just want to give read and then we'll add. And so that added that particular ACL. Now you can delete this ACL if you think you did it wrong. There's no way to edit this with that GUI. You can just delete it and recreate it, or you can go over to the editor, but that's a YAML file, and that's what we're trying to do in the GUI here. So let's click new rule. We have one more rule here, and we're going to call this one storage because it gives them access to storage. And by storage, I mean in here the key storage. So SSH, usernames, passwords, or keys here. So I'm going to choose knock here. And then this time it's a resource of storage because that's where the key storage is. Instead of name here, we're going to specify by path, but we want access to all the passwords, or at least everything at that root level. So I do keys because everything begins with keys, and then I want wildcard here because I want to give all access, so .star. Otherwise you would put a name and the typical regex. And here we also want read permissions, and we click add. So those are the two common rules. Don't forget to save there. And now let's go take a look at this, and let's minimize this. Go to Nick's browser. Now if I refresh Nick's browser, I should be able to see Mike Project 1, but if I go into it, I've got no jobs. So now we need to set ACLs at the project level. So let's go back there. So now I'm in as admin, and I'm going to pick the project, Mike Project 1. And then under project settings here on the left, I'm going to click access control. Okay, I've got 0 so far in here. I'm going to create an ACL policy. Again, this creates a YAML file that you don't have to use the editor to get perfect. You can use the GUI to create it. I'm going to call this knock for project 1. And then I'm going to click a new rule here. And the rule I'm going to create, I've got 4 here to create. So I'm going to call one job. And again, this is knock. And I've got job here. And I want job to be a name matches .star because I want all jobs in this project. If you want to do less than that, you certainly can. So we want run, kill, and view here. So I want kill. And I press the control key and it does the run, and there's view at the top. So run, and we scroll down here and click add rule. So view, run, and kill where the job matches everything. All right, so now we need another rule. Next one is node. So I'm just going to call this node, or a description of node. Also the group knock, and then resource is node. And the node name I want matches everything as well. And I want read and run. So I'm going to click that control, and there we go. Knock, read and run for that. We need access to all the nodes because we're going to run jobs against those nodes. Okay, now we need a nodes all. So let's add a new rule. And it's also the group knock. And resource is nodes all. And we're going to give just read access there. Okay. And then now the next one is for events, and events is synonymous with the log activity, looking at historical logs. So let's click new rule here and call this logs, and the group is also knock, and the resource is events, and we want read, and then add. Okay, so we've got those four. So once you have these four, you can use this as like a template and a starting point for many others. Click save. But name has invalid characters. Okay. You're only allowed letters, numbers, and dashes and underscores. So I'll just call it that. There we go. And then click save. Okay, there we go. Proof is in the pudding. So let me go to the NIC, and I'm going to just refresh on the browser, or I can click this Rundeck logo here. And now I've got my project one. That's good. I had that before, after I did the system. Then I click that. I can see all these jobs. I can see activity. That again is activity here. But notice I can't do any deleting or editing of these. And now I can run this job just to prove it. I'm looking at the log output, and there we go. That's it. Thanks for watching.